Hello everyone, have a nice day. Today we're going to gently set aside the tense reality of James running and hiding and step into the kind of moment everyone secretly dreams of. In this episode, James secretly returns to the bamboo house and prepares a once-in-a-lifetime surprise for Diep. A room filled with wildflowers, a white wedding dress, and a fragile moment where their love dares to exist without fear, even if danger is still close by. If you find this journey touching, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss the next videos. Diep slid the bamboo door open with her usual tired push, and her breath caught in her throat. Her simple little room had transformed into something she almost didn't recognize. Wildflowers were everywhere, white petals, tiny purple blooms, little golden buds she remembered seeing along the path James used to walk when he brought her home. They filled the corners, climbed along the walls in woven strands, spilled over the small table by the window. Their soft scent wrapped around her, sweet and dizzying, like stepping straight into a memory. For a heartbeat, she forgot how to move. The afternoon light slipped through the window, brushing over strips of white fabric that had been tied along the frame. They fluttered gently in the breeze, catching light the way hope sometimes caught her off guard in the middle of lonely nights. But none of that was what made her legs weaken. In the center of the room, hanging beneath a shaft of warm golden light, was a white wedding dress. It floated just above the floor, the skirt soft and full like a cloud paused in midair. A delicate bow sat on the bodice, simple yet elegant, as if waiting for the right person to breathe life into it. Diep's hand flew to her lips, fingers trembling. Her heart stuttered. "James!" His name slipped out before she could stop it, barely more than a breath. Reality snapped back a second later. James wasn't here. He couldn't be. He was supposed to be somewhere far away, hiding from the shadow of his father, running from the danger that had wrapped itself around his life and hers. He wouldn't be foolish enough to come back. He couldn't risk it. And yet, this room, this dress, these flowers. Diep stepped inside slowly and closed the door behind her, as if any sudden movement might make everything vanish. The silence felt thick, unreal. Each step toward the dress felt like wading through water. She reached out, her fingertips only a whisper away from the smooth white fabric. A faint sound brushed against her ears, a rustle, soft. From behind the thin curtain in the corner, Diep froze again, pulse roaring in her ears. "Who's there?" she whispered, the words catching halfway up her throat. Before she got an answer, someone moved. A figure burst out from behind the curtain, and in the same heartbeat, arms wrapped around her, tight, desperate, almost shaking. Diep gasped, her body tensing, then melting. She didn't need to see his face. Her heart recognized him first. "James!" He held her like a man who had been drowning for days and had finally broken the surface. His face pressed into her shoulder, his breath hot and unsteady. She could feel the tremor in his chest, the way his hands gripped her as if terrified she might vanish. "Diep," he breathed, voice raw. "I missed you. I missed you so much it hurt." The woven basket slipped from her fingers and landed on the floor with a dull thud, vegetables spilling out unnoticed. Diep clutched his shirt, fingers burying into the fabric, her eyes instantly burning. "How did you get here?" Her voice shook. "James, what if someone saw you? If your father's men?" "I don't care," he cut in, tightening his hold around her. "For once, I don't want to think about them. I just wanted today. Just one day where I see you without hiding in the shadows." His heartbeat pounded against her cheek fast, uneven, full of everything he hadn't been able to say. After a long moment, he loosened his arms, just enough to tilt her face up with both hands. His eyes were red-rimmed, exhausted, but soft in a way that shattered her. "I prepared something," he said quietly. "For you, for us." He turned her gently so she faced the dress again. Diep's knees almost gave way. "James, what is all this?" Her voice cracked, barely holding together. "A promise," he answered, so softly it almost broke. "One I can't make out loud yet, so I wanted you to see it instead, in case one day everything else is taken from us." Tears spilled down her cheeks. She tried to wipe them away, but more followed. Behind her, James slipped an arm around her waist, his chin resting lightly against her shoulder. "I know we can't stand in front of anyone. No guests, no music, no real ceremony." His breath warmed her ear. "But I still wanted you to feel what it's like to be loved without hesitation." He turned her gently toward him, searching her face. "Will you try it on? Just for me?" James's question lingered in the air, fragile and heavy at the same time. Diep stared at the dress, then at him. Her throat tightened. It felt like agreeing would mean stepping into a dream she might not be allowed to keep. Her voice wavered. "James, this is too much." "I know," he whispered, "but so is living without you." He didn't push her. He just held out his hand, palm open, eyes filled with a quiet plea. After a long, trembling breath, Diep nodded. "Turn around," she murmured, trying for a small smile. He did as she asked, shoulders straight, hands clenching and unclenching at his sides. Diep picked up the dress with shaking fingers and slipped behind the small bamboo partition. The wildflowers rustled softly as she passed, as if the whole room were holding its breath with him. Behind the screen, she ran her hand along the fabric. It was softer than she expected, light against her skin. Each seam felt careful, intentional, as if his hands had hovered over every choice: this bow, this length, this shade of white. "Did you," she began, voice muffled, "did you choose it all by yourself?" James let out a nervous chuckle. "I might have terrified the lady at the shop with how picky I was." Diep smiled despite the ache in her chest. When she finally slipped the dress on and smoothed it down, the air around her seemed to change. She barely recognized the woman looking back at her in the tiny, cracked mirror. A woman in a wedding dress, cheeks flushed, eyes shining, standing in a bamboo house filled with wildflowers. Not a fantasy from someone else's life. Hers. "James," she called softly. He turned, and his world stopped. Diep stood at the edge of the partition, one hand lightly gripping the bamboo frame, the other resting over the bow on her chest. The dress embraced her, the skirt pooling gently around her feet, glowing in the late afternoon light. For a moment, she looked like every dream he'd ever tried to suppress was made real. James swallowed. Diep, Words deserted him. Color drained from his face, not from shock, but from the sheer force of emotion surging through him. He took a slow step forward, then another, as if afraid any sudden move might shatter the scene. "You're breathtaking," he finally managed, voice rough. Diep dropped her gaze, her cheeks warming. "I feel strange," she whispered, "like I'm stealing a moment that doesn't belong to me." James shook his head at once. "It belongs to you more than anyone." He stepped close enough to gently tuck a loose strand of hair behind her ear. His fingers trembled against her skin. "Listen to me," he said softly. "Even if the world turns against us tomorrow, even if I lose everything, nothing can touch this. This moment is ours, real, untouchable." Her eyes lifted to his, glossy with tears. "I'm sorry," he continued, voice dropping, "for dragging you into my mess. For every night you had to lie here alone because of my father, because of the life I was born into." Dee pressed her palm to his chest, feeling the urgent rhythm beneath her hand. "And yet you still came back," she murmured, "even knowing what it could cost you." He let out a shaky breath. Being away from you felt like slowly disappearing. Her tears spilled over. James brushed them away with his thumbs, each touch tender, reverent. "Don't cry," he whispered. "Not today. Today, I just want to remember you like this." He leaned his forehead against hers, closing his eyes for a fleeting, fragile second of peace. Then a sound knifed through the softness. Footsteps. Outside. Heavy, hurried, drawing closer along the dirt path. James's entire body went rigid. Diep's spine straightened, her breath catching. "James!" He pulled back, eyes sharpening in an instant. The softness vanished, replaced with grim focus. "Stay behind me," he said quietly. "James." "Please, Diep." His hand slid to her waist, guiding her gently but firmly behind his back. He positioned himself between her and the door, shoulders squared, jaw clenched. The transformation was a terrifying and familiar lover turning into a shield. The footsteps stopped by the entrance. The doorknob rattled. James found her hand and squeezed it hard. "If anything happens," he murmured, still facing the door, "run out the back. Don't look back, no matter what you hear." Her grip tightened, desperate. "I'm not leaving you." He almost smiled at that painful, proud feeling. Then the door shook again, louder this time. James drew in a breath and pulled her into one last fierce embrace. Her face pressed against his back, his heartbeat roaring in her ear like a war drum. Whoever waited on the other side of that door didn't matter. James had already decided. If this was the price of coming back to her, he was ready to pay it.
Trong tập phim này, chúng ta tạm thời quên đi thực tại nghiệt ngã khi James trốn tránh người cha quyền lực của mình và bước vào một buổi chiều mong manh khó quên. Diệp trở về từ chợ và thấy ngôi nhà tre đơn sơ của mình đã thay đổi, hoa dại ngập tràn mọi ngóc ngách, những tấm vải trắng tung bay trên cửa sổ. Và ở giữa là một chiếc váy cưới tuyệt đẹp rực rỡ trong ánh sáng. Sốc và trắng ngập, cô thì thầm tên James, nhưng anh đột nhiên xuất hiện, ôm chặt lấy cô trong một cái ôm tuyệt vọng. Anh thừa nhận nỗi đau khi xa nhà và tiết lộ rằng lễ cưới nặng nề này chính là lời hứa yêu thương không nói thành lời của anh, ngay cả khi họ mất tất cả. Diệp thử chiếc váy trở thành cô dâu mà anh hằng mơ ước, nhưng ngay trái tim họ cuối cùng cũng bình yên. Những bước chân nặng nề tiến đến gần cửa buộc James phải chuyển từ người yêu dịu dàng sang người bảo vệ kiên cường, sẵn sàng đối mặt với bất cứ điều gì xảy đến vì cô.